Are you a woman in your 40s, 50s, or beyond and suddenly feel like your body cannot handle stress the way it used to? You are not imagining it, and you are not alone. This is super common in midlife. In fact, this is something I hear on a daily basis from my midlife female clients. They're feeling exhausted. They're feeling overstimulated. They're feeling burned out. They're feeling disconnected, not only from themselves, but from their loved ones. Yet, how do they respond? They push harder. They do more because we're so frustrated with the menopausal related symptoms that we're doing everything in our power to combat those. Well, midlife women, we are more sensitive to the effects of stress. And this is because of those hormonal and nervous system changes that happen in midlife, which means that self-care is no longer optional. It is required. It is an essential part of our day and our life. Now, the misconception that we often hold is that stress is only emotional and it's temporary. I hear that from my female clients all the time. Give me a couple weeks, give me a month, and life will be easier. It'll be calmer. That stress will be behind me. Well, we have to check in with reality because guess what? The next stressor is just around the corner waiting for you. So we have to bring in the fact that stress is ubiquitous. It will always be there. So we need to build in that resilience, build in that recovery against those stressors. In regards to the emotional piece, we think about breakups or divorce or marriage or financial constraints, things that are more emotionally driven. Well, there are a lot of hidden or unknown stressors that also create the exact same response in our body. And that's things like poor sleep, whether we didn't get enough or it was poor quality. The blood sugar crashes that are especially common midday. We overtrain, which is different for every woman. We undereat. We have food sensitivities, and oftentimes those go undetected because they have a more subtle and delayed response. Our tech, we are tapped into tech. Our phones are connected to our hips. We have our computers, we've got our iPads, we've got cars, we have devices everywhere. So what we have to remember is that over time, with all of these inputs, our nervous system gets stuck in overdrive. It gets stuck in that fight or flight mode. And this is when we start to experience things like that 2 to 4 a.m. wake up call where, oh my goodness, I am wide awake. I could get going for the day. Or we feel fatigued, even though we took a nap, or we got good sleep the night before. We feel anxious. We feel irritable. We might feel angry or have a little bit of a panic attack. We have brain fog. And we get that belly fat. We have 4 times the receptors for cortisol, which is our primary stress hormone, in our belly, in our midsection. So the truth is that we are not going to build this resilience by pushing harder, by doing more. It's going to require recovery. And we're going to talk about 3 simple ways that you can build recovery and resilience into your day. One is to prioritize sleep. So that is a non-negotiable change in midlife. We have got to prioritize no less than 7, ideally no more than 9. There is a U-curve risk on sleep. And this is actual sleep. So if you're not using some type of a tracker or a wearable to identify how many hours am I actually in bed asleep, because even though you might be in bed for 8 hours, that does not mean you're sleeping 8 hours. So we need 7 to 9 hours of actual sleep, ideally close to 10 p.m. because your physical repair, which breaks down when we're under stress, like your bones and your muscles, they repair best in that deep sleep, which is going to happen predominantly before midnight. So we really want to strive for a closer to 10 o'clock bedtime. And then make sure you're in bed 7 to 9 hours for actual sleep. That's number 1. Also with that, prepare yourself for sleep, because if you are on your devices, you're scrolling, you're working, and then all of a sudden you jump into bed and you expect to fall asleep. That's probably not going to happen. So give yourself a little downtime. So I like to say 30 to 60 minutes of digital detox. Get off of all devices. Get a nice light reading physical book. So not reading on a device, but read on a physical book. Maybe you do something like meditation, deep breathing, journaling, an Epsom bath with lavender oil, something that is going to help you unwind and prepare for that recovery that you need when you are sleeping. Number 2 is to stop overtraining. Now that is a nuanced topic because overtraining is different for every woman and at different stages in their life. So if you're feeling sore, if you're feeling extremely fatigued, you're probably doing too much. Like a lot of those symptoms we talked about where our nervous system is on overdrive, we need more recovery. So you might be better off, especially if you're under a high stress load, to focus more on walking outdoors in nature optimally, because that's when you can actually lower physical and psychological stress loads. Strength training. Prioritize strength training over high intensity cardio. Much less stress on the body. Plus, we're already breaking down muscle as we age. You're going to break down muscle more under stress. So we need to build that in the gym. And that's how you do it, is strength training. Implement some gentle recovery exercises like gentle yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. Also really helpful in regards to energy flow and stretching, mobilizing, which we get tighter as we age. And then give yourself the allowance to have a full recovery day or 2. You do not need to push harder in the gym. Less oftentimes is more. So give yourself a full recovery day. Maybe it's 2. You can spread it out. Maybe it's the weekend, or maybe it's one day during the week and one weekend day. Now you can still get outside for your casual walks in nature, but take time off from the gym. Number 3 is building in micro self-care moments into your day. So these do not have to be long, drawn-out practices, but they should be an intentional and consistent moments that you build in, you sprinkle into your day. Things like just stepping outside, get some sunshine, smell the fresh air. Take 3 deep belly breaths. Now that can happen anytime during the day. If you have a little bit of digestive dysfunction or trouble with digesting your food, maybe you do that before you eat all 3 times during the day. But even if it's like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, just a little break. Close your eyes, 3 deep belly breaths. Definitely turn off those notifications. So we do not want our phones buzzing every time we get a text, an email, or something comes abrupt, because that is very alarming and that just activates that stress response. So turn the phone off, turn the notifications off, even best to just ditch the phone and the computer periodically throughout the day. We need to step away, which also brings us to white space. Because what do we do as women? We shoulder a lot of responsibility. We wear a lot of hats in our life. So we are helping and supporting everybody else. And so we've got a lot of to-dos. We've got a lot of errands. We've got a lot of chores. We've got a lot of meetings, whatever it might be. And so then all of a sudden, there's no time for me. So make sure that you build in that white space to do something that you enjoy and that helps you recover and build resilience. These small habits are very powerful, but they don't take a lot of time. But we do need to be intentional and purposeful by sprinkling those into our day. And it is really a non-negotiable in midlife. You will feel the impact. And if this topic resonates with you and you're like, oh, this is something I really need, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below on what resonated with you and how are you going to build in a little mini self-care resilience break into your day. And I encourage you to subscribe and like my channel. Share this with another woman you know who could benefit from this topic. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.